Everybody, welcome back. Today is March 11th, and I continue to alternate between feeling great and feeling under pressure. And by under pressure, I'm going to go ahead and name the challenge. I keep experiencing headaches. And the headaches are kind of specific. Many people won't believe, but as a toddler, I was thrown headfirst into a tub and I struck my head right about here. And that really caused some trauma. And that trauma has persisted throughout time. And for some reason, it's begun to re-emerge. And a lot of people out there won't be able to put some of these things together except for by putting themselves into another person's shoes or even looking closely at their own shoes that they're walking in. But a lot of us have been traumatized. And physically, we might be getting challenged, especially as we approach the eclipse, particularly in the neck of the woods where I'm at in the United States. So I know that these concepts are really broad and they can seem challenging, but many of us who understand the importance of getting into nature and disconnecting from negative energies understand that there is a life force that flows between us. And because of this, we can understand truth from fiction. And all we have to do is really think, can we see the details? If we can observe, then we might have what's called the power of discernment. And discernment is a word that's similar to discrimination. It's controversial, and some people are already going, this guy, he's talking about so many things. What can possibly be the reason that this is something that I should pay attention to? Well, all of the things that are going on, whether you're thinking in terms of New Age or Christianity or spirituality, all of these challenges that we're facing collectively, including the violence and the atrocities around us, also include the injustices that we carry out. For an example, I have a pretty significant headache today, and so I opted to spend my time in a hot bath trying to break through whatever this pressure anomaly is, especially in the absence of having a lot of people to tell, Like I know if I was able to tell my father, man, I've had this headache that's lasted for a long time, he might say a prayer for me. And the prayer may or may not help, but knowing that someone else is out there, like if he told me, hey son, I prayed for you. I pray for my dad all the time. In fact, if you look at the description in these videos, some of them you'll see where it's not just prayer, it's active thought that we can translate universally. And without people's help, I think I've been having an unsuccessful time trying to communicate with my father. And that difficulty only got greater and greater, especially approaching the last eclipse that happened here, the last two actually. But most notably, I'm talking about the 2017 eclipse. And then here we are approaching the current year's eclipse, where a lot of people are talking about there's going to be a comet called the Devil's Comet, and you can't look at it during certain times, and blindness, and a lot of us are getting excited about an event that hasn't even happened yet and not recognized the blindness that we're experiencing right now collectively. So some of this might not seem interconnected, but if you look at the life around me, look at some of what I've been trying to do just in my basic self-awareness time, you can see that I'm putting in the effort, a lot of effort. And I'm still expressing my creativity, even though it's hard to speak in complete sentences because it's hard to breathe sometimes. And although my health is extremely challenged right now, the challenging aspect of being able to communicate without fear is definitely not as much of a challenge for me as it used to be. So I think that for many of us who are just kind of glossing over the situation, being distracted from paying attention to the ultimate topics that we should be thinking about, if anything causes us concern over finality and what happens after, before, or during any point in time, maybe we can relate back to the underlying topic, whether you want to call it New Age, Christianity, spirituality, Buddhism, etc., and on and on. Maybe we can relate and start going, hey, this is a sign of the time. Maybe we can start wishing each other better. And instead of just wishing, we can actually do something about it. So for now, taking a hot bath, trying to alleviate my constant, almost nonstop headache. And I'm going to ask once again for people to really look at the comments area and the description area. I guess I'll have to permit comments on this one, and recognize that this conversation was only initiated because I moved the conversation forward where maybe someone else hasn't learned to do that yet. Not really sure. What I am sure of is that doing the right thing and trying to do it using the available options is way more energizing and uplifting than constantly overlooking and having other people pay the price for the things that we ourselves are costing one another. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.